This is Tales of Swordfall.
Episode 1, The First Course.
Lenny goes and sits in the big chair that looks like it would fit him.
Yep, and surprisingly enough, it does accommodate for your tail. Actually, it looks like all these chairs accommodate for tails,
Oh,
which is,
this place is nice and fancy.
yeah. They have, like, high vaulted ceilings and, like, really nice cushy chairs. I mean, man, hopefully at some point you could get more jobs at this place. Who knows?
Has the waitress left yet?
The waitress did leave right after the drink was ordered, and
Oh.
is coming right back with this large jug. Well, not
Oh, Jesus.
and this stein, and the stein is well decorated, and she pops open the jug, and instantly, just like you can visibly see these fumes just kind of wafting out. And she very carefully, she looks a little nervous about this, starts pouring the jug into the stein, and then gives it to Lenny. Lenny, you
Thank
have this smoking, bubbling, actually pretty like sweet smelling drink in front of you.
Oh, thank you, nice lady.
You're welcome. Would you like anything else for appetizers? And she's kind of asking everyone.
I just have a bit of a question before we order anything. One, there's no menus. So well done for remembering everything off the top of your head when it seems there is an extensive list of wine and beverages. But this is gratis, right?
Of course, this chef would not be cooking things for free if you weren't going on a job.
Mm-hmm. And what is this job?
Oh, it's a simple trip to gather ingredients, I believe.
Gadbait looks confused. Gather what sort of ingredients? I'm no fishmonger.
Oh, don't worry. It is something that is excellent for mercenaries to do.
I'm not a mercenary, ma'am. I'm entertainment.
Lenny just interrupts and looks to the waitress. I'm sorry. Have you seen George?
Oh God.
As she thinks about it, do you mean George Prescott?
No, no, no. I, I, no, no, no. Not George Prescott. Just George.
Just George. The Just George Billions?
No, no. Lenny starts like scratching his head, like trying to form the words. He's like you, and he points at Ordnance. No, no, more like you, and he points at Gadby, except for has that scruffy hair thing on chin, and
Gadby has his hand on his chest like he's clutching his pearls, offended. Like, oh God, no.
he's got one eye that's got a mark on it from this one time me and him were roughhousing,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not tall like me, and he has big arms like me, and he flexes.
Is he like Goliath?
No, 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 no. He a human.
Okay, I know a man named George Milton. Is that it?
That might be him.
Hmm.
I know if I see him. He's my brother.
He might work here. Let me check. And Gabby, you can tell that she's slightly confused. that this
Mhm.
guy would know anybody who works here, but she's being polite. She's going to check.
Uh-huh. Gadby just gives her a look of good luck.
And, you're left there for a few minutes as she's checking about this George Milton.
Yeah, if anyone looks over at Ordnance, you'd notice that he's ferreting away some of the bread.
Oh, Lenny's doing the same.
Gadby looks at you both like he doesn't say anything, but the look on his face is I'm surrounded by plebs. And just like puts the butter on his bread, eats it, has some caviar on the little toasted crackers, and just calmly
No, no.
sips his wine and is like, "Well, I guess we're gonna do this then."
I mean, Lenny's, he's still eating some of the bread. He's just pocketing one for later.
Yeah, but he grew up like you can see by the way he holds himself. He ain't from common stock.
Lenny looks over to Ordnance. He's a fancy fella too, ain't he?
He's a very fancy fella.
I feel like he was talking to me.
No. Sorry, that was out of character.
I like the thought of, no, he was definitely talking to me, says Ordnance, who's like in just rags. So the waitress comes back again. I'm sorry, Mr. Lenny? Yes?
Yeah, that's me.
There's no George Milton here.
Oh, well, that's fine. I'm sure I'll find him later.
I'm sure you will find him later. Anyways, appetizers. And she actually hands Gadby a list of appetizers.
Oh, wonderful. I will have the crab cakes. I believe our dragon friend over there might like the steak tartare. And he looks at Ordnance and then looks down at the list. There's a cup of gumbo. Perhaps I think that would suit my acquaintances and expedite the whole thing.
Yes, of course. And she takes the menu, she gives a little bow, and she goes back.
As soon as she leaves, Lenny looks to the two and kind of like low, not wanting to like show that he's ignorant as much, and he goes, what's an appetizer?
It's a small snack before the larger meal.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yes, I got you something that I thought you might like.
Oh, that's mighty
Can
kind of you.
You can read, can't you?
No, George always did that for me.
I thought so. And he looks over to Ordnance. And you?
Yeah, I can read.
And a few minutes go by, and a gnome shows up. A very well-dressed gnome.
Oh, it's one of the tiny folk.
And
hello.
He waves. He looks very happy to see all of you. And he takes his time to go around the table and goes to the opposite end, pulls out what looks like to be a very big chair, and sits in it. And it looks like it's been padded or cushioned or has some kind of booster seat so he could sit at the table with you. Hello.
Our esteemed employer, I assume?
Yes, and you must be Gadby and Lenny and Ordnance.
Tip of the hat.
I just realized I'm using the wrong voice. Yes, well, welcome to my restaurant.
Yes, the food's delicious.
No, you have not tried anything yet. And that's part of the reason you're here, is because every season I try to have something new on the menu. And I am competing with all the best chefs in Swordfall. So I decided to be here since I'm the only one here, and all the people seem to really love my food here, but it's the very rich people that come here, dine here, and keep me, well funded and well loved.
I
And,
see.
and to keep that up, to keep on the cutting edge of everything that's food, I sometimes hire people like you to go out and fetch me things.
Gabby looks at him and says, "You realize I'm an entertainer, right?"
But you also have exquisite taste, right?
Absolutely.
And you can tell what is good food and what isn't by looking at it, right?
I'm no trained chef, if that's what you mean.
But you are a lover of fine, exquisite things. That's what I've heard.
Yes.
Well, who else better to hire for high-end food than someone who knows their stuff?
Oh, dang it! Someone's
He
banging on the door.
slowly cuts a glance at Lenny and Ordnance, and then looks back at the proprietor, and goes, "I think there might be some confusion here."
Oh no, they are your muscle.
I see.
No offense to either of you, but I did hire you specifically for your combat prowess and strength.
So you mean to tell me that we're here to run errands?
Well, it's more than just running errands. And he's about to continue on when a bunch of staff comes out with the entrees. They kind of make a presentation out of the whole thing, lifting up lifting off lids off of like silver platters, and you're all given like little minute portions of fancy looking food. I mean, the gumbo has been deconstructed on a little platter, which is kind of weird. I can't remember what else you guys ordered, but everything's done in this.
Crab cakes.
Yeah, everything's done in this like overly exaggerated, stylized way, which kind of makes sense if you like sit down and think about it for a long time. But just looking at it, you're like, what's going on?
Lenny just simply claps as he sees the food. Yay! Oh, that looks mighty fast.
And Andulin looks super happy that you're super happy about this. And in front of him is like some leaves and a like little chunk of meat, and it's what looks like to be like olives, but it's like all stacked in a super nice way. It looks like a piece of art has just basically been put in front of all of you.
Oh, this might be too nice to eat. I mean, look at that. I
Now,
never seen cooking like this.
I insist, eat up all you want.
I think if you look over, you'll see Ordnance just kind of poking at this deconstructed gumbo.
Gadby looks over to Lenny and says, "It's steak tartare. You eat it with this fork," and he holds up the right fork.
Oh, don't worry about Lenny. Just let him eat. This is all about just eating.
Lenny holds up one of the forks. This one?
Yes, that one.
Okay.
He just like pinches the brow of his nose and just eats the way a proper rich person would eat.
Yeah, and Andulin is eating very properly, but he just doesn't seem like he's fazed by the rougher parts of your crowd.
Lenny, watching Andolin and Gadby eating, he's going to try and imitate how they eat because he feels kind of out of place. So, but knowing him, he's not doing a very good job.
Actually, give me a performance check.
Oh shit!
No, you are
That's
you
a
are
20.
imitating everyone like almost perfectly.
Well, I wouldn't say everyone.
Oh yeah, not everyone,
Yeah.
but the fancier folk.
Yeah, because I've just wrapped our ordinance rather has just wrapped a hand around the front of his plate to kind of create a barrier between him and everyone else.
Eating like you were from prison. Got it.
Yeah. So Lenny's like, why do they always eat such small bites? I mean, you're supposed to eat. Well, okay, I guess I'll just keep eating small bites then.
And the food is probably the most delicious food you've had in a long while. Actually, what was the best last meal Lenny had?
Slightly charred owlbear.
Just that like whole primal slapped it over the fire. Someone might have put like a sprig
Pretty
of
much.
something on it. Yeah. How about ordinance? What was the best last meal you had?
I think he found a skunk once, and it wasn't too beat up. So he's just kind of mammalian sushi'd it.
Oh.
Oof. Wow. Makes me wonder what your other meals are like.
I mean, Lenny would eat that too. I mean, that sounds great to him. He is not a picky eater.
Yeah. Ordinance is actually having a really Ratatouille moment right now, but
Yeah.
he's not letting anyone know. I don't think.
Actually, give me a deception. You're trying to like cover up your emotions, not trying to like show anything. You're trying to.
Well,
Oh, is he weeping?
Ugly cry. Just. This is gonna be a fantastic game, guys.
it's so good.
And
Oh man, this is loads of fun. Oh, ordinance. There's a napkin thingy right there for you. Wait, is that the right napkin, Gadby?
Yes.
That's the right napkin for that.
Very good.
He's just wiping away tears with his cloak. It's so good.
Mr. Tiny, I'm sorry. I'm not overly good with gnome. Is it gnome?
Yes, it's no.
Name. I'm not good with names sometimes. This is really good. I have never eaten anything as delicious as this.
Well, if you work for me, you better get used to it, and you can call me Andy.
Okay, that's mighty kind of you, Mr. Andy.
And Gadby, this is probably the first time you've ever seen someone of upper class be like, "Oh yeah, you can just call me a way simpler name. It's okay."
Yeah. Which is like something is like twigging a little bit, because this is weird and not how shit is meant to go.
Yeah, this is a little out of everything, probably for you. And
Can I roll like an insight or something like that?
Yes, please.
Something is not right. A 21.
You have a distinct feeling that this might actually be a last meal.
For us?
Yes.
Andy, if I may, what exactly is it that we're meant to go and catch for you?
Oh, well, I have a list, and he takes out nice little cards. You know, it's on like thick cardstock paper. It looks like everything's like handwritten very well.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look in the World Information folder,
Okay.
there's a document called Shopping List.
There is.
And he explains, this is a list of ingredients that I need. And this is the price per unit that I'll pay for it if you come back.
I'm sorry, if?
Oh, when you come back. I'm sorry.
No, I believe I distinctly heard if.
Don't worry about it.
Thank you for listening to Tales of Swordfall. please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe.